If I treat you wrong, I'll make it right. 'Cause loving you is easy, the feeling's too strong, why try to fight it? Loving you is easy, been away for a while, love was out of style. Waited for an answer, when you broke the rules, I played it cool. Come on, give it a chance, girl. I sleep alone and I wonder, is this a spell I'm under? But you slipped away. Belong to you, I can't have it any other way. Ooh, when you left for good, you thought you could. And never mind the feeling, when you think of me, I can guarantee I'm still staring at the ceiling. No sleep alone, and I wonder. If I treat you wrong, I'll make it right. 'Cause loving you is easy, the feeling's too strong, why try to fight it? Loving you is easy, been away for a while, love was out of style. Waited for an answer, when you broke the rules, I played it cool. Come on, give it a chance, girl. I sleep alone and I wonder, is this a spell I'm under? But you slipped away. Belong to you, I can't have it any other way. Ooh, when you left for good, you thought you could. And never mind the feeling, when you think of me, I can guarantee I'm still staring at the ceiling. No sleep alone, and I wonder, is this a spell I'm under? This foolish heart still thunder.
was that good old Dixieland horn arrangement by none other than my dear friend and roommate, Mr. Charles Ray. That intro music is a song on my debut record called Loving You Is Easy. It's track 1 off of the Young Avenue album. And I implore you to go to Spotify and grab that. If you don't know who I am, my name's Alex Kramer. And hello, welcome to AKTV, my Monday night talk show broadcasting live from my basement in sunny Donaldson. Not so, well, I guess it was sunnier than it was last week. But here we are in Donaldson, Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you for joining me. Let me know where you're at. Say hi to me here on Facebook or on YouTube. I really like you guys on YouTube, but I know you're just going to show up on Facebook like you do. That's okay. You're welcome. We're Big Tent here. So yeah, let me know that you're out there. Let me see you. Let me see your cheers and jeers. Let's see where you're at. Okay, we got some viewers. Okay, thank you for joining. Yeah, y'all are great. Brennan Valines is here. Echo chamber. Woo! Got weird beard for a second there. My beard is getting weird. I got an appointment with the old barber tomorrow to wrangle this thing in.
I'm proud of you.
It's working here, not so much here. But I'm going to stop burying the lead because I have a dear friend of mine on the show as a guest tonight. He's an extremely talented local Nashville luminary. And the musician community is very familiar with this face at this point because, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but he gets around. You've seen him all around town. You've seen him at the 5 Spot with his band, The Network. You've seen him laying the party down with Sam McCrary in the Mix. You've seen him on tour on the road with Hunter Hayes, among others. And now you get to see him on Alex's sofa. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my friend and yours, Mr. Johnathan Smith. John! He did it! That's all we can play of that, or else we'll be super sued.
Okay. That's good.
Hello, John.
What's going on, man?
How are you?
I'm well, man. Just awake.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That's a really good thing.
Yeah.
Awake and just grinding, man.
Happy
just
day after sports ball day.
Yeah, sports ball day. You know what I did yesterday?
What did you do yesterday?
I did not watch the game.
At all?
So it was background noise.
Okay, so
silent background noise. I had a track that came to me. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get this work. And so I just watched it silently. And when I saw everything, I missed the intro with Jasmine Sullivan and her.
Oh, her,
I
yeah.
missed
Oh, man.
The weekend, but I knew I wasn't going to miss anything because I was like, I can depend on social media to just tell me everything from start to finish.
Look, they're going to give us the cliff notes that we need anyway.
I mean, seriously. I mean, because it's like all the things that you would think about while it's going bad or while it's going great, however you feel about it. You know, you're going to hear everyone's opinions and it's going to just be like, oh, okay. So that's what I did. I didn't do, I was there. But
yeah, but just give me the recap.
Yeah, that's all I needed.
My dad is from, all the Kramers are Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh,
so,
lit. Got you.
So yeah, he got.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But he had his time in the sun all last year.
They were going crazy.
Champions of the world. Yeah,
right.
They were so proud. Mahomes has got a whole career ahead of him. I guess Tom Brady does too.
Yeah,
He's
right?
got a whole career ahead of him.
He's still going.
Man. But yeah, I didn't watch it at all because I'm cable free. We're the cord cutters. You know.
I like that.
So
I like that.
Just Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in the new Britney Spears documentary than
I'm so ready to see that. Like I'm ready for that. I'll be checking that out.
It's wild. Free Britney movement. #Free Britney.
Let her go. Let her go.
Somebody help. Can somebody please help? It's serious. We're not laughing. It's serious.
It's legit. All right.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here in Nashville.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you had been threatening to come for quite a little bit until you made your official move in 2017.
That's correct.
So going all the way back, you were born in East Chicago, Indiana.
That's correct. Yep.
I noticed like the places that you're from have city names that you think they're from a different state.
Right.
Because then Charleston.
It's like not South Carolina.
Psych.
West Virginia.
Psych. Gotcha. Try and find me. IRS.
Right? It's like I'm always like a constant mystery.
Yeah.
In a sense. Because you don't have a place to really connect me to.
You should put that on your business card. Constant mystery. In quotes.
Like East Chicago. Oh, yeah, that's near Chicago.
East Chicago is its own town. City?
In Indiana.
Town?
Yeah. City, town.
Yeah.
And then about 5.
It's unrelated to, or is it like way out suburbs? Is it just on the other side of the border or something?
It's similar to that, but like Chicago, I would say it's like 20, 25 minutes, a little bit from East Chicago. So it's definitely a state line situation.
Did you go to Chicago, the city, as a kid growing up?
Yes. My mother was a pastor.
Okay.
And so she had her own church, and that started.
I was going to ask you about that because you're a proper PK.
That's legit.
Yeah.
So
I'm a PK's K.
I'm still nice though.
Not one of the bad PKs.
Not the bad guys.
I'm not a bad guy.
But no, she had her church. Her church was established in Gary, Indiana, and which was like 5 or 10 minutes from East Chicago. And so, with her, my mother was a musician as well, but she started her own church. And so when she started a church, she was still playing as a musician.
She played piano?
Keys, yeah. And she actually taught me. And so when she would preach her services, I guess 10 or 11, I really can't remember. I was young. And then from there, we would go to Chicago between the south side and the west side. Mm-hmm. And we would do 3 to 4 services where she would be asked to come and play. And I was a drummer first before I played keys.
She would come to play, not to preach, or
yeah,
both? Or...
Yeah. She would come to play. After preaching her service for her church, we would go and she would gig, in a sense. But we're just crushing churches. And, it's Sundays. And I'm telling you, like, 7 o'clock, evening services, 7 p.m., getting home legit, 10:30, 11. Legit, 3rd, 4th grade. Legit. Wow. Monday, get up for school. Legit. Like,
all day work, yeah.
Legit. Wednesday, that's, Bible study.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even have, per se, we didn't have musicians rehearsal often because my mom's ministry was like, it's all about vibe. You know what I'm saying? So, like, rarely was it like, yo, we're going to learn this song. No, it was just like prayer, 15, 20 minutes, and then vibe.
Wow.
And then once
but you had like hymns and stuff.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, I didn't even run into hymns until I moved to West Virginia. And that's 2003. And that's when I learned all of my hymns. I learned how to play the organ in West Virginia.
Which it's an important distinction for anybody who is a non-musician or a non-keyboard player. Like, it cannot be overstated how different the instrument of the piano is from the organ.
My goodness.
It's a whole different instrument.
Huge difference. I mean, because you got the organ and then you got the keys, or the piano rather. We'll look at the piano. When I look at the piano, I'm just like, this is a percussion instrument.
It's percussion.
Totally
it's
understood.
Hammers.
Exactly. And the mallets. And from me being a drummer, I made that connection like, and then just feeling the hammers hit and knowing how much velocity to use.
Isn't that wild? And the limitation of that decay versus an organ, which is
it's insane. Which
infinite sound, and then the evolving
of the actual,
sort of a proto synthesizer, you could say.
It's totally insane. It was one of the hardest instruments. I like literally felt discouraged and like a failure when it came down to the organ, because you got the pedals. That's a keyboard, by the way, on your feet. You know what I'm saying?
That's a whole different keyboard for those who don't know. And he plays those bass pedals because Walter's apparently our front of house engineer now.
Right.
And we don't have a bass player anymore, so it's your feet.
It's me and him. So you got that, you got volume, then you got the actual, tabs, one's for vibrato, and then one's for loud and soft, and then like all of these things. And so when I saw it, my mother, like, she knew how to play it. My first experience on organ was at my great uncle's funeral.
Uh-huh.
And this was my first time meeting this guy.
Oh, wow, that's impressive.
It was like my first time meeting him in the casket. And
oh, no.
like it was the craziest ever.
How are you? Yeah.
It was kind of nuts. And then, anyways, my mom was playing, but she was trying to be with the family, but they needed someone to play. And she played, and she was like, Johnathan, come over here. Why don't you sit over here right here? And she was showing me, and I just looked like, what is this spaceship that I'm like,
look at all these buttons.
How do you drive this? And then I got to sit here and try to remember the little small few 3 chords that you gave me. Like, what do I do? So it was crazy. So, like, being able to play that now, it hits different. Because it's like, because it was so hard, I wanted to learn it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, this is difficult. So,
Man, I looked this up because my grandpa was a pastor, so I'm a PK's K.
Yo.
Our whole family was like grandpa was a pastor, grandma did the books, mom was a worship leader, dad was a band leader.
Right.
Enlisted me and my brother.
Sure.
Dustin played piano and I played drums.
Dope.
So we were just full family band, family church.
Wow.
And Pawpaw has since retired, and he's got so much gear in storage. I mean, he's got like just 8 SM58s, 8 SM57s,
that's insane.
cables stocked in his house. He's got, and I looked it up. I got to the back of his organ. It's an M101, like an M100,
M100,
a Hammond organ, and a Leslie cabinet, pristine condition.
No way.
And it's like he's got pews in storage just in case he needs. Just in case he's going to start up the old church again. He's 85 years old. He's barely like.
Just in case.
He won't get rid of anything. He won't let me use his music gear for the music that
right.
No, that's not true. That we do. We've gotten stuff. Actually, I have some of his PA speakers over there.
Super
He's
dope.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you actually got some.
He doesn't know, but I got 157 from him recently.
That's
And
good,
mom and
man.
dad hooked
Dude,
it up.
my mom is
He's not going to use
My
it.
mom is the same way. She gave it took my mom probably 11 years to give me her Yamaha Motif 7. Like,
She's like, but I don't know if I'll need it.
bro, I want to say I got it moving to Nashville.
It's like
That
fine.
was the only way I was going to get it. She's like, you're going to Nashville. Here, you can take this. I'm like, it's over now. Like,
It was her
they
baby.
got the montage. Like, there's a whole colorful knob now. Like, it's over now. Why would you do this to me? But yeah.
Oh,
so
man. This is a Mo 6?
That's a Mo XF. So that one, my mother and my dad, her husband, they got me that. And they was just like, you're going to Nashville. And because when I first got here in 2017, like, came here on the Ryder truck.
Yeah.
You only have it for 4 days. So I think I got here like a Friday or a Saturday. So the last night was Monday. At that time, Bourbon Street was having a jam.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, I don't have a whip, but I got my 88 key MIDI controller, and I had a Triton 61 key that I still have,
Yeah.
and another 49 key MIDI controller. So I was like, all right, and then I had my Nord, got keys broken on it, but I love it to pieces. And I was like, all right, well, I'm just go ahead and figure it out. And went there to try to like meet people and things of that nature, and
Plugged in.
you know,
I remember when Isaac Riston told me, he was like, hey, my guy is coming to town. And I think we must have met at Judah when you came in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that's where we first met, and he just had been telling me about you.
Yeah,
and he had been telling you about me, I guess.
And because he had like told me about you while I was living in Charleston, like.
And he was telling me, he was like, my dude, like before you moved, he was just
Right.
like, he's on the way.
Yeah, like,
as
I'm
if you
really
were in
coming.
the Ryder truck at that moment.
Like literally was on the way.
So when you showed up, you plugged in with such a I kind of like saw you as like, oh yeah, he's in. Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you came in like, yeah, we're here. We've been matched up together.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
This is where I belong.
Definitely.
I'm so glad that you came into the scene and plugged in so fast.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
it's-
It was insane. It was really insane. All I know is that before I left, where I was, which BTW, I love Charleston, West Virginia. Like, that's everything that people are enjoying around the world, here in Nashville and around the states, started in Charleston. So like when
Wow.
people see me going crazy and doing all of this, they used to hear me do that every week, you know, and
Wow.
they actually came and showed up. They actually paid cover. They actually came to the services or whatever it was. So it's like, I don't know, it just kind of made me feel, yeah, go ahead.
Do you remember your first gig ever? I guess it's hard to say gig because it would have been probably in church when you were performing, but I was looking up a little bit about your early bands that you had put together. You had a band called Inspiration.
Yes.
It Groove Heavy.
Wow, yes.
See, we went deep cuts. See, we do our research here.
I'm loving it. That is so lit.
Do you remember the first proper gig you ever played where like, I'm on the gig or I am the gig or whatever? Like,
So when I was living in East Chicago, Indiana, about 7th and 8th grade, at that time they called it junior high, wasn't middle school. So at that time,
what changed? What's the difference? It's 7th and 8th versus 6th.
yeah,
7th,
versus
and 8th.
6th, 7th, and 8th. Yeah, so it was only 7th and 8th, and down.
Did that just change up? That's not important.
Yeah,
Get me to a
yeah.
rabbit
But that was
trail.
the thing. So, anyways, my first band, East Chicago was a predominantly, it was an awesome melting pot, but it was like black, Puerto Rican, Mexican, hard body. Like, that was
Wow.
what it was. And so
Awesome.
with that, I was going to this junior high called Westside Junior High. Going there, I went there, played in a choir. Actually, I started in the band, and I was like good on drums, but he didn't like it. I promise. The music teacher did not like me. I don't care what anybody says.
And you're nice on drums. Drums is your first instrument.
Yeah, that was my first instrument. So when that happened...
And I know you were sweet back then,
dude,
too.
It was super dope. But that's where it started. That's where the band jumped off. So I heard there was this 2 other Puerto Rican guys who they were just like, yo, John, you nice, dude, but you ain't colder than these other cats. And I'm just like... And it was Javier and Victor. I'm like...
Head turn.
Send it. Send it. You crazy. Let's run it. Because, like, I do this music thing. Nobody does anything. It's quiet out here. So I thought. And sure enough, we got together. I skipped lunch. We all skipped lunch because, you know how you like, hey, meet me out on the playground and we're going to go ahead and we're going to fight. This was one of those moments, but musically. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
You saying you dope. We're going to see.
Are we going to go?
And we didn't even know each other. And sure enough, I went in there and I played and I did my thing. And they're just like, okay.
Were they older than you?
1 grade up. So I was 7th, they were 8th.
Which is everything at that time.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So you're just like, yeah.
Oh, I'm ready
suddenly,
for you. Yeah.
I've come to the table. I'm ready to eat.
Like,
Let's go.
You don't know who I am, but get ready. Like,
you're going to find
my
out.
energy was insane. And sure enough, and they got in there and they had the cowbell and they put the cowbell on the pedal like it was cold and songa. I mean, they were just cold in it, bro.
For sure.
And they were just like, yo, you're nice. It's like instead of us being mad at each other, it ended up being a situation like, yo, you're dope. And I was like, well, I play keys too. And dude was just like, well, I'm learning bass. And so the guy was a drummer. Other guy who was, because all 3 of us were drummers.
Right.
And but he was mainly a drummer. Then the other guy, Victor, was a bass player who now lives in Chicago and is a monster.
Oh, wow.
Clean, clear monster.
Wow.
Oh my God. Victor Torres. Look him up, y'all. He's crazy. Got like an album horn
Wait a
section and
minute.
stuff. Like he's insane.
I know Victor Torres.
Yeah,
or I
like,
know that I have mutual friends.
Yeah,
the name just
definitely.
sounds
Like
familiar.
he's.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
but
connected
anyways,
with
we started and then we ended up getting like a couple of horns, and then
Ooh.
the drummer's father was cold on the timbales. So
you had a
timbale,
whole band, yeah.
And my mom came and played congas, and then there was this other young guy, 10 years old. He's still around and he's playing too. He's cold. He was cold on keys. He was so fast, but it was like the Latin stuff. His name was Chino. Johnathan. And the whole Mexico, I'm like, oh, word. And so he was like aughts. And so we like had a band, and like I made we made $75 a head, including the father. Like made money. Like,
that's great for what sound 8, 9 piece band.
Yeah. Like it was like
creeping up.
It was kind of crazy. It was like 7. It was like 7 or 8. Yeah, legit. Like, and we made money. We would play for.
Was that the band Inspiration?
Not at all. That was just my first band gig. This is a thing.
Oh, cool.
From there, they went on to high school. You know, I went to 8th grade. You know, mom's church had got tossed on to somebody else. I'm pretty much getting ready to go to West Virginia. And so after that happens, I go to West Virginia in 03. I go to some church, an apostolic church, where they had like a piano, digital piano, but only had 4 sounds on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yep, absolutely. And one of them is definitely useless.
No questions. Like
one of the 4.
Like, I guess we'll just try to roll with the roads.
Harpsichord.
Like we'll try our best. And then and at that time I wasn't able to play it on my keys, so I was transposed shouty. You know what I'm saying? Like, admittedly, it wasn't no worries because it was like, who else is out here even trying to do it?
Well,
and so
you need, people talk about young musicians transposing or whatever, and I guess there is sort of a culture or whatever.
Oh, definitely.
Of not,
definitely.
But you got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
no shame at the beginning, but then push yourself.
Yeah, and that was the thing. I when I got out of it, I promised myself I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna just tell the truth about that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I'm condoning it. Yeah. I'm saying that I'm telling you where I started from. You know what I'm saying? Because like when I was playing at that little church, bro, like they were doing all these songs. Now we're circling back into the hymns. Mm-hmm. This is where I started learning hymns and the devotional songs because once again, my mom's church was a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like we would just sit there and just come up with stuff.
Sounds
make songs.
Sounds super cool.
Like on the fly. We don't know. We really don't know. We just know that some sort of praise and worship is inserted here. Mm-hmm. And when I went there, they had a certain way that they did things. There was certain songs and certain time signatures. 9/8. What? You know what I'm saying? Like 12/8. It was like, what? Like and they're not thinking of it deep musically like that. This is just what they do. It's
just what it feels. Yeah.
Like it's just how they feel. So I went through that whole thing.
The thing that's in whatever 9/8 or 12/8 is, where everything is in subdivisions of 3, but it's like a waltz within a waltz.
Right.
3 and
boom.
That's 9,
like,
I guess.
And sometimes they'll just come right back to the 1. It's like it's totally out of like it's like after 10. 1. It's like, oh my God, like, how do I count this? It's like,
you can't. You don't count it.
There's no possible way.
It.
But even going through all of that, they put me in high school. I went ahead and went to Capitol High School in Charleston, West Virginia. And I got straight into show choir. When I got into show choir, that's where I met Isaac.
To accompany or to sing?
To accompany. Okay. Did not sing. I played keys. I met Isaac first day. It was Isaac, Mark Price, my
was
best
Isaac
bub.
In the choir singing?
Bass. So
he had a whole
so he played
combo.
bass. Mark was drums. I was keys, and we had another guy named Chad who was on guitar. And so we just went ahead and started figuring it out and try to win some trophies, yada yada yada.
Uh-huh.
And then after that happened, that's when we're going into 16, 17 years old. I played at a church in Huntington, Christ Temple Church. That was like this huge church, bro, like legit 1,500, 2,000 people, 3 services. That's where I learned how to that's where I learned my number system.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I learned like how to function as a musician in church with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is it's like, okay, if you play certain things in church, it'll get people excited or whatever situation may be. Well, you got to know how to like contain that. When's the best time for it? What way to play to be able to bring it down? Like all of these.
It's a discernment thing. You have to, it's a
all
taste
of these
thing.
Pieces,
You have to be real
all
sensitive.
All of these pieces to this huge puzzle makes sense, and it made sense for like what I'm doing now, even.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Knowing when to be in it and when to be away from it. You know what I'm saying? And
Definitely.
how much to be in it and how much to be away from it. You know what I'm saying? So when that happened, after that happened, 16, 17, then I went back to another church in Charleston, and that's when I ran into the Inspiration. So Inspiration was a group of people who played instruments, but we were all like church. All of us played in church, but we never played like certain elders or ministers who held positions in church. Some of them played trombone. Some of them played sats. There's a pastor who played sats, tenor sats, blazing like Coltrane. And like legit, when you go to his church today, right now, when you go to his Baptist church, there's a whole tenor sats in the pulpit, bro, next to like his podium, because he might just blow a sermonic selection before he go up. Like that was the awesomeness about West Virginia. That's
so cool.
It fueled everything in me, like that. I like all my dreams and like drive, like showing you drive and stuff. Like this guy was like 60, 70.
That sounds like so much swagger. Like just
dude,
like,
and
let me
he's
grab my horn
cold,
for a second.
still cold. Bro.
I believe it.
Super still cold. And so when that happened, we did the Inspiration. We did an album. I had a chance. That was my first time really producing, writing songs. Like I wrote the whole album. It was like a 12-song album, bro. I wrote the whole thing, drums, keys, bass, guitar.
That's
just
huge, yeah.
On keys, just to give it to the band. Like, yo, this is it.
And the whole orchestra,
and then after that, we arranged it to where the horns have their part. Of course, the bass player did his thing, guitar. And that was my start in, like, jazz. And we were pretty much a gospel jazz group.
Yeah.
Every now and again, we did Chameleon and stuff like that.
Standards,
soft tunes.
Soft tunes.
Soft tunes, not the hard ones.
We weren't Spain level yet. We
right?
were doing Chameleon.
We're taking it real easy,
Yeah.
So, and that's where Inspiration happened. And then we move up a little bit more, and I was still playing in churches, holding a position accordingly. And then we started Hybrid Soul. Hybrid Soul was a band that was going on. And this band was an R&B, pop. Like, we did go-go. Like, we were crazy. Like, insane.
Wow, yeah.
Like, had a huge following. T-shirts, merch. Like, the real deal. Like, playing at the casino once a month.
Working.
Working. Taking a whole weekend up, and people are, like, really, like, coming in and doing it. So, like, that was a really cool thing to kind of get me going in that different sector outside of church. And then, in the midst of that, I started my own band, Groove Heavy. Groove Heavy was a 3-piece. I played mains and bass keys and synth.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the MC. And then my buddy Mark played drums, guitar, and talk box. And then my other buddy played drums and bass guitar, and started doing keys as well.
So just overlapping.
So the two drummers would switch accordingly. And because we had such a vibe, you know, there were certain songs I just started on my own to give them enough time to swap off.
Yeah.
And then,
oh, can we see some of that? Where, are they back home at the spot?
yes, sir.
Do you keep up with them?
So we haven't been doing any shows, of course, clearly.
Yeah.
But other than that, it just kind of, it's there. It just hasn't been, nobody's been doing anything.
It's a pick up where you left off.
That's exactly what it is. It's not over.
Cool.
It's not over.
Unfinished business.
It's not over.
I love the thought of that. That sounds
it's not
so
over.
cool.
Yeah, man. It's like we
cool.
got a whole album and EP. So, and that's pretty much where all of that in Charleston kind of shaped me for what's happening here. And then I started sneaking out here and working with some people. And, you know, of course, Isaac was like living in Nashville, like hard body, and he was crushing and doing his thing. And Chase Bryan is who he was doing that for a while. Like,
yeah. Now, when you moved here, so Isaac had been here from, I can't remember where he went. So I don't know when he moved to Nashville proper after college, or if he went somewhere after University of Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
He may have gone somewhere else for school. But when you were making the decision, like at a certain point, you were like, I need to move into a major music market. Was there a calculus of like LA versus Nashville versus Chicago or New York?
So
or like...
it was pretty much, Nashville was I'm going to put a pin in that. So I had an opportunity to go on tour with Isaac, and we went to Japan for like a month.
The American Idol tour.
The American Idol thing.
Yeah.
And that's where Chelsea Sorrell,
Wait, were you with, was Haley Reinhart and Casey Abrams on that?
This is the one with Jimmy Allen.
Jimmy! Oh, that was the beginning of that relationship.
That's where that all
shout out
started.
to Jimmy Allen. Like,
hey, bub! I just saw you a little while ago.
Oh, Walter and Shelly are on here. I realized that everybody's on YouTube today. Like,
oh,
Facebook,
they actually came. Hey, y'all!
They came.
Bub,
That's
sis.
beautiful.
That's my church partner.
Darrell's here.
Oh,
What's
D.
up? What's
Got
up?
the family. Hey,
Corey
fam.
Mack's here. Hey, y'all.
Shout out to Judah real fast. Y'all the fam. We love y'all. Because,
We do.
you know, just want to tell y'all that. That's my church people. I just want to go ahead and take a little moment to do my own little advertisement. I go to Judah Temple of Praise, 1700 Shelby Avenue.
1700.
I'm trying to tell y'all something. Listen, I play everything and I love music and this is my profession. But when I tell y'all this is my church and I rock with them, those are my people. I love them. Everybody who learn me and know me understand that I'm extremely churchy. I'm so churchy.
Hashtag churchy.
I'm so churchy. I say that because I stand by it. Let me tell y'all something. That's my church. I love them. That's my
Come and see us sometime on Sunday mornings.
No, seriously, like it's kind of crazy. Like look at us on
when
the
the
YouTube.
world opens back
Look
up
at
again.
us on the YouTube thing that you're looking at us on now, the YouTube and the Facebook. Check us out. Like it's like legit super cool. Okay.
J-Top Nashville. There we go.
There you go.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so
Got him.
hey family. But yeah, man, so all of that just pretty much shaped me to be able to come here. And so when I put a pin in it, yeah, I gotta keep it with my little notes. So what happened when I did the Japan thing, you know, we were trying to keep it going. So we were talking about doing like a Christmas album, and then some things fell through. But randomly, everybody who was on that tour kept up with each other. Like actually kept talking, like emails. Like I was writing, I had wrote a song. I had did because we had did Lady Antebellum Need You Now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had come back home. I was just like, man, I miss touring. Because everybody else went back to Chicago, Nashville, Cali, whatever. And I went back to Charleston. You know what I'm saying? So nothing bad, but it was just like, man, like at least
you were ready to keep grinding.
I was ready to keep it going. And so what I said to myself, I was like, you know what? It's not working out now. I'm going to put a pin in it. So Isaac knew that I was for real. And so he didn't call it like bluff. So like as I would go through things, you know, like because I was working with churches and I was working with different people, and it, you know, the grind is the grind. You have good days and you have a lot of bad days.
For real, yeah. Listen,
have a lot of bad days.
It's hard. It's for real, yeah. We have no safety net.
Like
you know?
none. Like everything is a risk.
A union? Nah, not really.
Like yeah.
But when I came out of high school or college or whatever, I just started hearing the words the gig economy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we've been knowing about that. Or it's like, yeah, maybe when I was supposed to graduate college, which would have been hypothetically 2011 or something. was like, yeah, the gig economy is the life we've lived.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you don't know where your next paycheck is.
Of course,
from.
yeah. Like
I'm
it's,
sorry,
it's
but yeah,
no,
go ahead.
yeah. But so it was like a constant grind. But I was just like, you know what? I would just tell Isaac all these things. He was like, dude, it's all good. So there was this really crazy thing that happened. So my grandmom, she had passed away. That's like my heart. I love her. Like on my Facebook to this day. I don't even know when I'm ever going to change it. But I have a picture on my Facebook profile of me, my sister. I think my brother's in there. But it's my grandma and my granddad. Grandmom passed away first. We had her funeral at the church that I was serving at. I played the organ for my grandmom's funeral, bro. Like, it was the craziest, hardest thing ever in history. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And so that kind of put me in a weird place a little bit because it was just like, I just kind of felt like empty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
wow.
That was weird. And then 6 months later, exact 6 months, my grandfather passed. So in this transition of passing, I went to the hospital and I had choir rehearsal that night, bro. And one thing about this particular church, which I thank them for, they were really strict and hardcore on, like, if you say you're going to be here, if you have a responsibility, the only way that you ain't going to be here is if you're bleeding, literally.
Yeah. Serious. Yeah.
And it was so frustrating. But the lesson that it taught me and how easy it is for me to just do certain things up here. Because, you know, like, where some musicians might not answer the phone, might not call back, stuff like that. Like, that was like a no-go there. Because, like, no, we pay you to do this. And you're making money that other people don't make. No, that's not riding. So it kind of grew me up really fast, really hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I went to go see my grandfather. He was transitioning. He wasn't dying right yet, but he was in that thing. It's about to happen.
Space, yeah.
And so I walked out of the hospital room, and because he wasn't really talking at all, he couldn't talk. I said, "Well, Granddad, I'm about to get ready to head on the choir rehearsal. I'm gonna come see you tomorrow." And he just said, "Oh." I was like, "Oh my God!" And he talked actually, so that was tripping me out. It was like a whole emotional thing. So instead of me crying like, "Oh, my granddad's dying," I went out, took a corner, and I called Isaac. I was like, "Yo, hey, bro, so I'm at the hospital right now, and I got to go to choir rehearsal real quick. But, you know, I was just thinking of something. If I take a leap of faith and just come to Nashville, will you help me find work?" And he said, "Jay, come home." So I began to cry profusely.
Wow.
Like, it was the craziest release. That was probably my grandma, like, emotions from my grandma, emotions from my Uncle Lavelle, the only tattoo I have. He was a bass player.
I never saw that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. And so there was two people in my family that I never really grieved over. But when I felt that, when he gave me that release, just those words, it was like, okay. And so I laid my grandfather to rest. And about 6 to 7 months later, people were frustrated, bro. They were so angry and like, I'm sorry, y'all. They were frustrated because I literally didn't say anything. I just...
You got out, yeah.
Just got out.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was something to the point to where
there's nothing to
I
say
can't
either,
really even explain it to you, but I just know that I am supposed to leave right now this way as is.
Mm-hmm.
And
like the time is now.
Yeah.
You felt it.
Yeah. And Isaac got me a job at Guitar Center at 100 Oaks.
Yeah.
And so I worked in Pro Audio.
Wow.
And sold keys and sound and learned about studio monitors and DJ stuff because people was coming in there. Hey, you got a Serato? And I'm just like, oh yeah. Like, why do I know that? But yeah, you know, like,
then, yeah,
that's how and he was just like, he basically came to my crib. I had a MacBook Air. He put Logic and he put Waves. He gave me all of the tools necessary to be able to do the stuff. To be able to get out there. And at that time, Craigslist was still dangerous, but it was ending. So I was using Craigslist.
Yeah.
And, you know, met with some bands. It was a lot of misfires.
Oh, man. The Craigslist ads
Bro.
of just like neat. Yeah.
Because you don't have a clue. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have anywhere else to go, so you got to.
Nowhere else. Yeah. But, you know, it ended up working out. And, yeah, man, just started trying to figure it out. My first gig in Nashville was at the Mellow Mushroom.
Oh, yeah?
And I played with this guy named Nashville Judd.
Wow.
And the bass player, I'll never forget him, Kevin McGurk.
I know Kevin.
Bro, he was like, because they had made crazy tips. I had made like 140. Like, it was crazy that
like,
day.
What is happening?
Like,
here?
it was like, oh my God. Like, nobody knows me. I just made almost $150. Like, and sure enough, man, And that was like my first thing. And then I just kept on going. I was kind of like burnt out from the church thing because it was just like such a big thing back home.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I was just like, I'm gonna just tour. I'm just here to tour. Met this guy at Guitar Center. He heard me on my breaks because I was thinking to myself, anytime I get a break, I'm gonna just be shedding because somebody's gonna hear it. It's Nashville.
Exactly. That's smart.
And they're gonna be like, yo, that's why I got the job. It wasn't to live in my apartment and actually pay my bills so I won't get cut off. It was so I can get another opportunity. Like, that's how committed to the risk
visibility. Yeah.
that I was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was committed to the risk. This is good stuff. Sometimes you need to be committed to the risk. Like, be so committed to it because it's
that's
like...
huge. That's great advice. Yeah.
Like, because you don't know, but it's like the blessing is in the not knowing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, and so I think that was one of the things that really
very important.
Helped me just get over... Like, I had no fear. Like, man, what if they don't like it? It was more so just like, I'm here and I am ready. Where's the sound tech?
Oh, gonna like
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, it's not even about that. Where's the sound tech? I just need to make sure I got a good relationship with that person. And it just kept growing, man. So the guy from some guy came up to me. He was like, yo, do you play in church? And I was just like, no. He said, do you want to play in church? I said, no. He was just like, take my card. And I was just like, all right.
Okay.
You know, I held his card for 3 weeks and commission checks were terrible at Guitar Center. So it was like, I'm going to go see what this dude's talking about. So I hopped on the bus, man. Went over to this little small Kojic church. And he was playing a song, and it was Youth Sunday. He was like, you know this song? I was like, yeah, I know this song. He was like, do you know numbers? I said, yeah. And I sat there in the audience and called the numbers to him of the song.
Oh, to him? Wow.
To the guy who was playing. I had never heard him. I just met him at Guitar Center. And the preacher, the pastor was looking like, who is this guy? And everybody was looking like, who is this guy? And I walked up and said, yeah, man, you sound great. This is super cool. And he gave me $50. He said, thanks for coming. He paid me. Like, he blessed me or whatever, you know, for just coming to check his service out. Wow. And that grew into me playing there eventually. So I started playing there. And then out of nowhere, I left the Guitar Center gig and got an Amazon job. Me and Isaac worked that job together. He got me that job.
Nice.
We ran routes together. Like,
the
greatest job ever.
Yeah.
$16 an hour, paid every week. Benefits is going crazy. And I was playing at this Kojic church. So I was like, all right. You know what I'm saying? And then out of nowhere, I ran into Sam in the Mix.
Oh, wow. No way.
You feel what I'm saying? And then I did that randomly. I did not have a car. I caught the bus to my first show. And Tyrus had came in. Tyrus said, shout out, Sensei. Tyrus had came in and saw me from like a back door. And he just looked and peeked. And then he just got missing. You know what I'm saying? and then he showed back up again. I just didn't know who he was. Like, I didn't know. Wasn't even paying attention to anything that was going on. So I'm doing the Sam thing and I'm learning their set, learning them, and then getting comfortable and getting loose. And then out of nowhere, this country guy is just like, Chad Wilson is his name. That was like my first tour while being an actual resident of Nashville. The Wilson brothers. That was my first one. That's when I met Walt. Because I had another guy I wanted to use, but my homie was just like, hey, I'm getting married, but I got another guy. I got a guy. I'm like, okay. That's one thing you're going to learn about out here. I got a guy. Hey, it's scary, but it could work out.
Coming out, well, it's all just has to do with how much do you trust the person who's saying I got a guy.
And that was the thing. The guy was like cold who was saying I got a guy, so it was like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
and
you can trust that.
It was totally fine. I met Walter Blair, and then from there,
Walter Blair.
From there, we went ahead and that was good. From there, we went on tour with the Wilson brothers, and then one day he was just like, yo, can you sit in at my church? Would you mind, bud? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I got you. So, went ahead and sat in and never left.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's going on. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm hanging with, now I'm at Judah. And I'm no longer, at that point, I'm now totally full-time musician, not working a job, because I left Amazon to go with the Wilson brothers. And from that, went on.
You were covered,
like totally covered. So I did that, stayed at the church, didn't do nothing, just like got back, started liking church again, started like liking God again. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole vibe. Like I had to like get it together.
You were burnt out. Yeah,
I was like, I was tired, bro, because I knew it all. And from the pastor's kid perspective,
sometimes you're
the
too
musician,
close and you get I know.
It was just a lot, bro. And so I just didn't know. So I got back good there, and then out of nowhere, I ran into Hubert. met Hubert. We played at a gig. We met each other at a rehearsal, and we played one show at Acme with Roy, Evan Cobb, Emmanuel. Like, this was like a boss setup, but nobody knew who I was really. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we went there and smacked. And then Hubert was like, "Yo, I need your number." He knew it immediately.
Yeah.
We got his number, man. We talked for like 2 hours, just talking.
Yeah.
And then he was like, a text thread happened, linking up with these guys that we all don't know. That's the network. We link up, we rehearse, and we don't even rehearse. We write all December of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And then January 2019, Hunter Hayes is calling Hubert like, "Yo, I need a band." He's like, "Don't call nobody else. I got the perfect band."
Already on in the works, yeah.
Hunter comes to the garage and he sits there and listens to us play our music. He asks us to come and do the whole audition thing, which really was just a rehearsal.
Right.
And he was just like, boom, immediately. Before I knew it, bro, we were immediately right out of the country. So I'm like,
Felt like it happened fast.
like, it happened so fast. So I'm over here trying to like get my affairs together. I'm like, "Hey, Bishop, I know I'm here, and I promise you I'm here, but I'm about to go on tour." And I just brought him all my dates, and he was just like, "Wow, son, this is a lot. Okay, all right, so this is, woo, you going here." And he like helped me unpack it. And like,
it was less of he was gonna lose his organ player and more
it
of
wasn't
just
even
like,
that.
oh, look at
like he's like, "I need to know,
prepare
I need
yourself,
to know the church prayed for me." They had kept, I mean, and just stuff was just going crazy on TV, going crazy, and it's like, it's just
shout out to Kelvin Levy Sr.
Yeah, he's the man. He cares about like people, and that's kind of like important if you're gonna do the Jesus thing.
He's a good
You gotta
guy.
care about people. So yeah, take that.
Shouts out to him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
take that. Care
for
about
real.
people. But yeah, so other than that, man, it's just been a constant journey, and now I'm here just at home.
It's home,
And lately, for the last 2 years, 2 years, for the last 2 years, I've kind of been trying to crack the code of, getting music on the radio and things of that nature.
And you've had, like, just in the last 6 months, you guys have had a few major placements.
Yeah.
Like, what is the most recent things that?
So the most recent one is Jasmine Sullivan. She just came out with her record, and I played on one track on that song, but I'm on it. And that's the name of the track, On It.
Count it.
And so I'm the guy playing the Rhodes and the piano. And then before that happened, I think November and
This is Walter says, "Hi, this is Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
Hey,
Blair.
Rachel.
Rachel.
Hey, niece. And so the most recent one is Jasmine Sullivan, On It. And then before that, in October, like last year, was her. And I was on the song Damage.
Isn't that weird that both of them just yesterday, like,
Bro.
very, it's weird how it all came
It's
together.
so
Very
crazy.
on the cultural
I am hoping
front.
I am hoping for the best for everyone. It's a wonderful thing. And then it's like super cool because it's actually good music. And it's like, and I'm just like so honored to be a part of like real music happening versus no shade to anything being programmed at all, but just being a part of like, the natural, real, organic instruments necessary to like fill a song out.
Yeah.
And so, and before those two, and also compliments of Isaac and Cardiac. Cardiac is my boss and I love him. Isaac is my buddy. I love him too. So we did, let's see, we got, and this is all stuff that Isaac was on too. So we got Jasmine Sullivan, then we got her. And then before that was YBN Corday. I did a track on that one. And then before that was Chris Brown and her when he came out with the Indigo record.
All right.
Come Together. I'm on that one. And then before that one was 2 Chainz and Ariana Grande, Rule the World.
That's awesome. And
dude. So
talk about rule the world.
That's what I'm doing. So I'm like recording and like kind of like getting a little bit deeper into that vein because of course when you work with these artists they're like awesome but they have like they got a brand, you know what I'm saying, so they're going to keep rolling. So with God's grace we're going to be continuing to roll on. So right now I'm doing that. I am also producing, got like artists around here who like want to get their music out, and so I am like cutting vocals, I am arranging music.
Talk to that.
Like,
where is it? Where if somebody wants to reach out to you, where can they reach out to you? Like,
so it's super simple. You can reach out to me. Email. I love email. j.smith46312 @gmail.com. j.smith johnathan.smith46312@gmail.com. Please email me. And then, of course, social media, Johnathan Smith, Facebook, real basic. You'll see me, my grandma. I have locks. I'll have locks in that picture. And then also on Instagram, @JohnnyTechno. Just send me a message. And let's work. Let's do stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much for now. There's other things in the works because since things have been happening, I've got to expand. And so that whole transition period, it's happening. And for those who are personal artists, right? Those who are artists and you have to sit there and push your own music and have a press kit and stuff, you guys know what that's all about. So I am going through all of that while working. So
j.smith46312
@gmail.com.
Look at it.
So that's where you can find me. So
that's like that's the Johnathan Smith catchphrase is let's work.
Let's work. Let's get it done. I mean, and seriously, that's pretty much what I'm doing. Producing. I'm at my church and I'm recording on stuff. So yeah.
So let's work. Isn't that the dream? Yeah,
dude, that's what it's all about. Let's just work. Let's talk more work.
Speaking of let's talk more work.
Whoa, is it that time?
Let's put these hands to work.
Let's try it. I was like really sitting here having a good time talking. Nobody asked me questions enough.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
and it's like you know what I'm saying. Like
it's so nice. This has been a fun outlet for me because I get to show the world like, look at this amazing, interesting person in my life that I want other people to know about. Yeah. And to take a moment and to say like, where did you come from? Where's the influence and where's everything behind?
Because it's like it's kind of like aggravating to try to like give you a synopsis of who I am and where I'm from while I'm on break. You know,
or it's like you're at the networking event.
Surely,
you're at the handshake. Like, so what's your deal, man?
Yeah.
Like,
like,
so what? Like, what's my whole deal? You want me to give you?
This is not the time for that right now.
You want to give you the thesis statement on my whole life and everything I believe in.
Like now, right now,
right here, the elevator pitch, please.
Right.
So yeah, this is nice.
But yeah, man. But thanks for having me, dude. Like, I appreciate it. This is fun.
Well, you trying to catch these hands or?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and play some stuff I ain't played before.
What's that? I don't know. We're gonna go to this little break screen. Tell the people what is Whereabouts. What are they gonna hear? Is this just
okay? Yes, another shameless plug. So
please.
with everything, with everything that's
tilt this a bit.
So with everything that's going on, I've had so many of my personal friends be like, "Yo, when are you gonna release music?" And it's so sweet now because it's like I'm on other stuff that's like really doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So my hope is that the audience, I'll be able to pull them accordingly, or at least they'll like listen to my stuff a little bit just off the strength of some of the things I played for. So I have music. This song that you're about to hear is called Whereabouts. Whereabouts is going to be on my full-length album called Rescue Walk This Way. And then and that's what you're hearing, just the demo version of that. The goal is to release it this year. I will not talk about a date of when, because that's the worst thing you can ever do.
I'll give you a date called TBD.
Dizzles. You know what I'm saying? TB Dizzles. So, but that is happening this year, no questions. And then also I'll be releasing an EP called This Is Crazy prior to that. And that's going to be a work of art because I'll be talking about what we went through at the start of 2020.
Oh yeah,
but just musically within 6 tracks.
All right.
So hopefully that'll get you excited.
This is crazy.
But like it's super crazy. Like wow, this is crazy. Like because it's really crazy. Like it's like insane. So, but what you're gonna hear now is from my full-length album, Rescue Walk This Way. It's called Whereabouts.
Whereabouts, and then we're gonna play some music together. So guys, stick around. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Johnathan Smith. Oh, pew pew.
Pew, 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 pew. You got it.
Yeah, I got it. Listen, this is not my first rodeo. This is my 9th rodeo. See you guys in a second. for me. I'm gonna applaud myself.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Hi.
Let's do a little soft J yamming.
All right.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
Let's get it.
Introducing our robot friend. Fired guy. This guy. No. I fired myself. Well, in the words of a great man named Isaac Riston, if I were having any more fun, it'd be illegal.
Wouldn't it be illegal?
So you're considering believing there's a future on the way, but it's just history repeating year after year, day after day. Honey, welcome to the freak show, where you're always on display. You're so busy being original, you've become another cliche. Over and over, it's always the same. Painting a picture, it's already framed, and the grass is still green. The sky is still blue as far as I've seen. There ain't nothing new. But just give in to the illusion. It's the greatest show on earth. It's all in the execution. Your sleight of hand. How does it move? Maybe I should join the circus. Be a clown in the parade. But if you look behind the curtain, you're gonna find it's all a charade. Over and over, it's always the same. Painting a picture, it's already framed, and the grass is still green. The sky is still blue as far as I've seen. Ain't nothing new. Over and over, it's always the same. Painting a picture, it's already framed, and the grass is still green. The sky is still blue as far as I've seen. There ain't nothing new.
I like that song.
Thank you, sir.
It's a really good song.
I appreciate you. Appreciate you accompanying me. Putting putting the paint where it ain't.
Yeah.
Well, this has been an absolute joy.
Yes.
Johnathan Smith.
Yeah, it's been great.
I lost my email. Well, j.smith 46312
at gmail.com. Or reach out on social media. I'm out there. I promise you. You can even Google me. I tried it like 5 times. You can Google Johnathan Smith. It's extremely basic, but I'm there. Like, you'll probably see something about Reverb Nation. That's me. That's like free music too, while y'all can get it. So like all that stuff, like try to Google me, like all of that works. ReverbNation.com/Johnathan Smith, all that stuff works.
And throw something in the tip jar so I can send him home with something, y'all.
Oh, precious.
You know, need a little something. Let's jam him out.
All right.
Let's get a little motif going.
Yeah.
Not a motif, but a
motif.
motif.
Motif. Yeah. All right.
I'm following you.
Okay.
I need your lights now. That's what I need.
Yeah.
That's immediately what I felt in my spirit. Good night, y'all.
Bye.
Happy Monday. Y'all be safe. Take care of yourselves and each other.
Yeah.
Johnathan Smith. My dude.
My God.
Good night. Oh, wait. That's not what I did. We go.
Get your story straight, baby. You've been acting kinda shady. Back and forth, you're just delaying. So what's your testimony lately? Order in the court. May proceed until you plead your case. All this love and war, pain and suffering in time and space. Tell me what's my crime? I think that you can't handle the truth. It's the same old alibis, never gonna be good enough for you. Get your story straight, baby. 'Cause lately you've been acting kinda shady. Back and forth, you're just delaying. So what's your testimony lately? I can hear you say